ever done the Polar Plunge?
Yes, I have.
Did you do the full plunge or did you do the half-hearted?
So remember I told you about my shins getting all cut off from the ice?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
You didn't think I did,
Okay, because there's people that don't do it. There's people that don't go all the way in. Anyway, the reason I bring that up.
They dip their toe in and call it.
Or go up to their knees and they're like, oh.
Me and Jake Hamilton.
I'm not going to name names.
We had some Jack Daniels before to warm us up.
That's smart.
You know?
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's very smart. It's a good numbing agent.
Yep.
Anyway, Polar Plunge Chicago is happening once again this weekend to raise money for Special Olympics. I love this event. We're going to be speaking with the organizers about their goals. Also, this is super cool.
Yeah.
I know that cheerleading could be super competitive.
Oh, yeah.
There's movies about it, I heard.
I was a cheerleader in high school.
You were?
I was.
So are you a big Bring It On fan?
I used to be. And it is a sport, okay? I hear it all the time.
Oh, total. Okay, you're not going to hear any arguments from me on this is a sport. This is like gymnastics, strength, calisthenics, everything rolled up into one.
You've got to be
teamwork.
brave.
Teamwork?
Athletic to the max.
Trust?
All of it. It's crazy.
I sound like a brand ambassador. I'm really very unfamiliar with this. I just know it gets super. I have friends on social media who post their kids' and they travel around the country doing this stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I was down in Indianapolis a couple weeks ago on a long weekend, and the entire downtown was there was some major tournament at the Conseco Fieldhouse down there, and it was just crawling with people from all over the country in town for some major cheer convention.
I have a photo
very big deal
on my phone that maybe we could pull up later. I was a flyer, so I have a picture of me like doing.
Wait, getting thrown up in the. Oh, wait. You were getting thrown into the air, or you were throwing a baton into the air?
No, I was the person in the air. I'll show you a picture.
You're kidding me.
No. It's probably a grainy photo, but I will pull it up.
Was that scary?
No. Because I did it when I was like in middle school all through high school.
I need footage of this.
The gymnastics part was scary for me.
I need to see footage of this.
I got a picture. I don't know about footage. But.
A Westside Middle School cheer team from Learn 8 Middle School. Yes. They have been quietly building an impressive cheer legacy. They have transformed mostly brand new students with no experience into like national contenders and national champions. So you're going to get your
amazing program.
I'm going to let you take the lead on that interview because you are. I did not know this about you, Caitlin.
I'll have to show you. Cheerleading was like my thing.
So someone your teammates would throw you up into the air and you do like
a basket toss? Yeah, the picture I'm talking about though isn't quite that. They're holding my foot up and then my other foot is like being held behind my head.
You learn things about your coworkers every day. I'm having a moment here. Wow.
You were
okay. Do you have any?
He was a college cheerleader too. Anthony was. One-handed, would just hold girls up. You know? Like
this. Do you have any video of this that you could bring in? Like your folks have got to have some old competition
like from the
video.
Camcorders back in the day.
Yes.
I don't know if I could track that down. I could get a picture, but I don't know about a video.
Go into the Cody archive.
Yeah. We'll work on it for sure.
Okay. We have some entertainment news to get to as well. I did not know there was this backstage like scuffle.
Yeah.
Cardi B. So we're going to be speaking about that with Michael Babcock. This is just coming out. It has to do with the Weekend update. Apparently she overheard a joke that she was none too pleased with.
SNL has some crazy interactions sometimes, I feel.
Yeah. And
so we'll be diving into that.
We're going to dive into that. And then there's been kind of a tragic death of one of the sons of a Real Housewives star. The Salt Lake City edition passed away. That's so sad.
Yeah, and you know, if you're just joining us now and you haven't heard the forecast, I do want to say this on a positive note. It's going to be very, very nice tomorrow. Today, low 40s. We have mostly sunny skies, but tomorrow, Anthony, remember we were talking about that forecast?
Yes.
This is actually Kaplan's forecast.
Did you have a recap with Kaplan about his prediction?
No, but remember you said he was going to be in the low 50s. I was like, I bet he's going to lean heavier.
He totally did. And it actually, you rarely hear an on-air apology from Mike Kaplan, but he's like, I want to apologize for lowballing you guys early because I'm up in the forecast. It was great.
Wow.
It was great.
All right. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be phenomenal, but it is going to be windy tomorrow, so a little bit.
Okay.
And then we have
it's going to be a gentle breeze, though, 65 degrees.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah, I'm already trying to orchestrate some happy hour plans.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, trying to orchestrate some plans.
Tomorrow?
Isn't that great? I'm trying to line up a sitter, and I'm doing it. Hey, you got to lean into these days.
You are living right, my friend.
What? Yeah, it's good stuff.
I think I'll be going to sit in a dark gymnastics studio waiting room.
No, I want you going through your personal archive. I want that video.
Oh, you want the video? Okay.
I want the video.
I'll try to pull up the picture for
Michael
you guys.
Babcock, I just learned that Caitlin Cody is a former cheerleader, and she was one of those that got tossed up into the air and would do.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
Is that called a flyer?
Yeah, but listen. I wasn't like a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. My local high school gym did some gymnastics.
I'm impressed. I don't care. Cowboys or not, I'm impressed.
I am impressed. I'm impressed as well. Hey, Michael.
I was a high school football player. Definitely wasn't on the Cowboys either.
What position did you play?
Quarterback.
You were QB.
Not.
Let's go,
I definitely wasn't Tom Brady. I
Michael.
wasn't Tom Brady.
You could have been. You could have been.
Babcock goes deep. He's got his own. Yeah.
I could have been. If I was like 5 inches taller and had a much better arm, I could have been.
That's still great. Oh, man, I'd love to see some old footage of a young Michael Babcock leading his team to victory. Oh, my gosh.
Right.
In New Jersey.
I like your version better.
All right, cool. All right, so now he's an entertainment reporter. We got to get some news from him, from the former QB here. Let's start off with Cardi B. What happened at SNL?
Yeah, this is a crazy situation with Cardi B. So a couple of weeks ago, she had the honor of being on the 1,000th episode show. So it was a big deal that she was on, and because of it, SNL goes out and they get a big star in Cardi B. Well, something happened during rehearsals. Obviously, Cardi B has this long-standing beef with Nicki Minaj, and it has really gotten pretty hot lately in that they are going back and forth with one another. Cardi B clearly cannot even stand the thought of listening to Nicki Minaj's name be said. So Michael Che and Colin Jost were, before rehearsals, were sort of playing around with some jokes that they were going to try and use on the show later on. And Cardi B hears this, and she absolutely loses it, the story goes. She threw an absolute fit. She was yelling, she was screaming that she was not going to be there if they were going to talk about Nicki Minaj. She apparently then threw her phone at a monitor, and then at one point even punched or hit a monitor to the point where it was broken. And you had apparently the staff and the cast and the crew was upset, and they were concerned that she was flipping out. Well, they didn't want to lose Cardi B, so they ultimately decided to get rid of the joke. So you never heard a Nicki Minaj joke that night, but that is because of Cardi B's reaction, which was not a good one.
Why do I feel like if you show strong emotions like that when you're mad at somebody, it just shows how much control they have.
They're living rent-free in your head.
I agree. Right.
Like she should just blow it off like it's not even a thing. Oh, that's sad.
That would be the way. And it wasn't even. I mean, maybe I could understand if it was a joke about their disagreements with each other, but it was a joke about. It was making fun of Nicki for her, for her kind of cozying up to Donald Trump and MAGA. From what I understand, that was the basis of the joke. So you would think Cardi might say, okay, yeah, I like this joke.
Yeah.
So they're making fun of her. But no, clearly not. And yeah, I think it does go to show just how emotional this is for Cardi B. I don't know if it's like that for Nicki. Maybe it is too, but yeah, it was apparently not a good situation.
Yeah, definitely hit a nerve there. Do we know if Cardi or her team covered the cost of any repairs needed?
That's a great question. We don't, Anthony. I think that I would be surprised if they didn't, because I think NBC would probably say, hey, come on, like you can't be breaking our stuff on the set here. And I would think that they probably ultimately
how was
ponied up a bit for the cost.
How did the episode go? Did you watch it? Was it good?
I saw some of it. I mean, at the time, I guess the biggest credit to them and to everybody is that you watch it at the time and you have no idea that anything had just seemingly happened moments before. But now we know. But yeah, went off without a hitch. I don't think I saw all of the episode. I saw some of it, and I did see Cardi's performance, which was good.
The rehearsal.
It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable that they are able to pull it together for live television every Saturday. I mean, and some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Michael, does this track for Cardi B? Is she known for this level of emotion?
Yeah, I think I think so. I would say I would say it does. There have been some, and some of the stuff has happened on camera before. There have been some outbursts in the past. There have been some incidents with fans. So, she's I think can be sometimes a heated person. Maybe can quickly go from calm to not so calm. But look, lots of people like that, although not excusing her behavior on the set. It sounds like she was out of line, so I don't, I don't mean to make light of it.
Okay, well, speaking of, changing topics, this is a heavy story, just so you know. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star, Mary Cosby. So let's get into the story about her son.
Yeah, this is a sad story. He has passed away at just 23 years old. His name was Robert Jr., so named after his dad. And just a really, really sad story. Passed away earlier this week. The call initially came out as a suspected overdose, so it sounds like that ultimately might be an accidental overdose that ultimately might be what the cause of the death is. Robert's somebody who, while he wasn't a regular on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City show, he was on the show at times during season 4, as a matter of fact. One of the storylines was actually that Robert had gotten married sort of under his or behind his mom's back or under her nose. She didn't know about it, and he went to the courthouse with his wife. They actually have since divorced, but that he got married, and that was really one of the storylines of the show. So fans of the show will be very familiar with Robert. They know who he is. He also had some legal issues in his past. There were some arrests, assault and some things that clearly he was struggling with, and there were some addiction issues there. But again, end of the day, a tragedy that this person, was, barely just not a kid at 23 years old, have passed away way too soon. The family devastated. Mary devastated, her dad Robert devastated, and I think fans of the show really sad as well.
Definitely. Do we know anything about where this took place or what substance was involved here? I know there's been so much concern about fentanyl in this country recently.
Oh yeah, I don't think we do yet. Anthony, I think ultimately they probably will conduct an autopsy here, and with that autopsy they'll do a toxicology report, and then we will see, especially because there's a suspected overdose. So I think the authorities will want to know what he took, and was it something that he took something that he thought was something else? I think that we probably find that out. It's just going to take a little bit of time here. Sometimes these toxicologies take a while. It could be months in some cases. So, but yeah, just 23 years old.
Do we know where it happened? Where the overdose happened?
I believe it's right in that Salt Lake City area there where they all live. So. He grew up there. He had a lot of friends there, and again, he had issues over the years, and some arrests, but I think was trying, in fact, when you listen to people, trying to get his life back on track, and
Have we had a statement from Mary, or do we expect?
Yeah, a very short one. She just came out and basically said that, my husband and I are devastated, and while our hearts ache, that we find comfort that he is, in heaven now, something to that effect. Is what the statement was. So it was short and sweet. And you got to imagine that, you can't even imagine really what that family is going through right now. You just feel horrible for them.
Okay, well, that's a tough one. Michael, always good to catch up with you and check in.
I always have the bad news.
Yeah, hate to leave it on a
I'm going to come with good news one
sad
day.
note. Yes, no, it's always fun when you come with some good news. Thank you for joining us as always.
I appreciate you having me, guys. It was great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Bye.
Who knew that both of you guys were just elite performers in your past?
And you played piano.
And all I do is play piano.
Is that what you did in high school?
I did.
You did sports.
I wasn't big enough to do any of these so-called real sports, basketball and football.
What did you do?
I did track. I was a long distance runner. It was the super cool.
Wait, that doesn't surprise me.
I was the super cool, the super cool cross country team. Yeah.
I love that for you.
I love that for you.
I wish that I was a runner
so
back then.
adorable for you.
No. I think it's fantastic, especially as a kid. It's hard to have the discipline to run.
It was. It was. I enjoyed. There was something kind of meditative about it, and I. Like I like to brag that I did a marathon or two here in Chicago. Nothing compared to the Antarctica marathon. We interviewed some folks that are heading down to Antarctica.
Oh no!
But yeah, no, it's something that you can.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, you can carry it later in life, but then the knees go, and yeah.
Yeah, the pavement's hard on those joints.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, we get to talk about the Polar Plunge, which is happening this week.
It's
When's the
such a
last
fun
time you
event.
did it? It's been some
7
years for me.
years.
Okay, yeah, it's been some years for me. I did it with one of our old colleagues, Michelle.
Well, I mean, goodness, we had Jake doing live shots last week or the week before about a sauna that's like floating on the lake, and people were doing polar plunges right out of the sauna.
Right out of the sauna,
just
getting back in
into the lake.
That's right.
So impressive. Yeah.
That's right. It was out on Navy Pier.
And this time of year, it can be, you know, hit or miss. I will say when I did it last time, there was a lot of ice on that lake.
Some years they have to actually take out.
That was the year. They had to get a machinery.
Like heavy
to
machinery.
break up the ice so that we had enough
To make a little hole, and you just go one at a time through the hole in the ice. Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
it's a toughie. But we get to speak with Amy Taylor, the executive director of Special Children's Charities, when we come back. Talk about the plunge. Stay with us.
Welcome back, 10:18, Polar Plunge Chicago, which, by the way, you guys should do a polar plunge for a good cause because it's good for our bodies. We've learned over the past couple of years. Anthony and I have both participated in this, but it was before we knew that it was actually like super beneficial.
Exactly. Now everyone's doing cold plunges.
They are, from their house, by their own choice. Okay, but we're talking about how to support the Special Olympics of Illinois. So this is a money raiser for the Special Olympics of Illinois. And we're learning about this tradition, if you haven't yet, by Amy Taylor. She's the executive director in Special Children's Charities, and Will Bratland, who is the special recreation instructor. Thank you both for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about the Polar Plunge first, the event itself, and then we'll get into the fundraiser. So who wants to start?
Yeah, so the plunge is going to be on March 1st this year, and we're expecting about 4,800 plungers.
Wow.
And each one of those plungers has to raise a minimum of $200. And we've been doing this for about 26 years, so we're super excited. All the funds raised stay in the city, and as you had mentioned, that they fund Special Olympic competitions in Chicago, but then also Special Children's Charities run some programs as well, and that is life enrichment, which could be anything from an online cooking class to a poetry slam to just a cultural event, as well as art and music therapy. And these programs all benefit individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
This is really great. It's a great tradition. So you mentioned the minimum that people have to raise is 200.
Yes.
But what are some of the maximum amounts you've seen over the last, did you say 24 years, 26?
26 years.
26 years. Like how much has any individual raised in that
Yeah, it's really interesting. This event, I think, kind of becomes like a holiday for folks who do it over and over again. So we've had teams raise up to 100K.
Wow.
Whoa. William's team he's been doing it for several years and is on track to raise
11,000.
11,000.
Wow.
Yourself or your team?
My team.
That's unbelievable. So let's bring Will into the conversation. Will Bratlin, he's the special rec instructor at Shibona Park. Is Shibona Park? It's a park district.
Yes.
Park Field House.
Yeah.
Okay.
On north side.
North side of the city.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us how you first got involved in Polar Plunge and the outlook for your team. You got what, 20 people on your team this year?
Yes. It started a lot of our participants benefit from Special Olympics or from Special Children's Charities. And when we started plunging just because we wanted to give back, they help support us, so we want to help support them. And it started off just as a small group of 6. It was me, another coach, and 4 other athletes, and we all would just run in and jump.
That's so great. What was your first year that you did it?
My first year was virtually in 2021 during
yeah, the virtual plunge.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was just me and another coach at Shibona there, and we were running across the field barefoot at Shibona. And then the next year is when we came back to the beach. You guys did the whole back to the beach thing. It was super fun. And we dressed up as fish, and our athletes were sharks chasing us into the water.
I love when the people do the themes. You can see the Ditka out there. We saw Where's Waldo theme over there, the crayon set. I love it.
Well, I gotta ask, so you've come back year after year since the virtual Polar Plunge. And the energy that exists during this event is something that's hard to describe.
Yeah.
Can you put your experience into words? It's just such a fun time, a gathering of folks.
Yeah, it's so fun. The energy out there, the music playing, everything. It's great to be around, seeing everyone coming out to support. And a lot of family and friends of our guys too. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really hard to explain.
What can you describe for folks who haven't done it? I've got my own little explanation, or like my own little description, but Will, getting out of the water, once you're done, once you've done that plunge and you're running back on shore, what does that feel like?
Sometimes it feels pretty nice because the water can be a little more colder, so it's like you get much warmer.
Exactly. I remember for a few minutes there, right after you go in, you're not even cold out of the water. You're kind of just like hanging out, and there is something about it elevates your mood. Yeah, your adrenaline. You just it's almost like you feel high.
Yeah. Could we talk about the super plungers? Do we have those coming back this year?
The super plungers.
The ones that go like hour after hour.
Oh, for 24 hours straight.
You know what? I don't know that they participate.
They're not
in
back.
That. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's always a fun one too. But it's the
Those
energy
people
of
are
like
present.
almost. It feels like if you want to participate, it feels almost like a party atmosphere with your best friends, where everybody's encouraging each other and like. The excitement of almost, I can compare it to this. Like when you go on a roller coaster, that's really scary, and everybody's getting excited, and at the end you got the jitters, and then you're on the roller coaster with everybody, and you're kind of in it together. Jumping in Lake Michigan in the winter feels like that.
Yes.
Like you guys are all doing the same thing together for one cause, and it's just this group energy that is. It's phenomenal.
I love it. What does it take, Amy, to put this on every year? Because this is a massive scale. You got 4,800 folks. It's North Avenue Beach again. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about the scale and what it takes to put this on.
Yeah, we have really great partners. So we have a deep partnership with the Chicago Parks District, which provides a ton of support. And then every single union that you can imagine is out on the beach. We've been out on the beach probably for the past 2 weeks setting up.
Oh, wow.
Battling the wind this week. So it's a 2-week endeavor of when we're actually getting out there, setting up the tents, getting everything set, and now we're going into that intensive time. These next 2 to 3 days, we're going to be out there every single day.
Yeah. So let's talk about that because obviously Caitlin's been reporting on the weather. It's been January was brutal. Then February we've had some nice temperatures relative. So what's it been like compared to past years this year? I know Caitlin did it with Jake the year that they had to actually get out some heavy machinery to just like bust a hole into the ice so people had somewhere to actually plunge.
Yeah, so I think we've been fortunate because it started to get mild again. So I think that timing really helped us. So we won't need anything to bust ice this year.
Nice.
But it's definitely been the wind that's been the wild card to get tents and to get things drawn, and so I think that's been our biggest battle this year. But the temperatures have been mild.
Yeah.
I know tomorrow is supposed to be pretty warm.
Yeah.
Sunday is 30, so I think we'll have the full experience.
Yes,
That'll be the full experience.
Well, let's talk about your fundraising. So you mentioned how you have a goal. Did you say $11,000?
Our goal was 10,000, so we're,
Oh, you already got there. Yes.
and we still keep going too.
If someone wants to contribute to your team, how could they get a hold of you?
They can go on.
You can go to Special Children's Charities, and we have a plunge page.
Oh, okay.
And you can look up Will's name.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Or
Yes.
Shibona Sharks.
The Shibona Sharks, that's your
That's our
team.
team.
Oh, is that the shirt you're wearing here?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's our
Shibona Park. Where is Shibona Park?
North side on Addison and Oak Park.
Addison and Oak Park. Okay, got it. You said 4,800 participants. How does this stack up between, you've been doing this 26 years. Is that pretty on target for your usual level of participation?
Yeah, for the past couple of years, it's grown obviously over 26 years, but that's what we typically shoot for about 5,000.
Okay.
Right around in that area.
Couldn't people still register, or is it one of those things where you'd have to,
All
do
the
some
way up
last
to
minute?
10 a.m.
All the way to
on
10 a.m.
Sunday.
And the minimum, but you still have to get to that minimum.
Yes, you still have to get to the minimum. You can also just come to the beach and support and make a smaller donation as well. But if you want to plunge into the water, there's a $200 minimum because it is a
That's
fundraiser.
good,
Amy,
exactly.
do you have any suggestions about we saw those videos of people dressing up. Should people have a theme? So you guys are the sharks. Are you guys going to be wearing shark costumes? Is this something that everybody does?
We have a costume contest.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Ooh,
I
yeah.
definitely.
Here's
I
some
think
highlights.
that makes it more fun and probably
Sure.
distracts from what you're actually about to do. So I think we definitely encourage people to dress up and do a theme and have all the fun costumes.
We just saw the plunging Waldos there. We got the plunging Ditkas. What are some other themed costumes that stand out in your mind over the years, Amy?
Last year there was a really fun costume of the. It was a music video. Now the artist is escaping me. It was the girls with the black dresses and the red lipstick.
Oh, Richard Marx.
Not Richard Marx.
No, not Richard Marx. Robert
Robert Palmer.
Palmer.
I thought that was fantastic. They had
Addicted to Love, maybe?
Addicted to Love.
There it is.
They had the inflatable guitars, the women went in with black dresses, the bright red lips, and then they had their Robert Palmer.
Wow.
So that one I thought was really unique. But I've
Might
seen
as well.
the Starbucks logo, somebody dressed up
Okay.
as the mermaid. Yeah, I think there's just
They get
always
pretty
really
creative.
costumes
Okay.
that you never imagine.
What about food? Because when I remember years ago, I did it 7 years ago. There were I think they were grilling hot dogs, if I remember correctly, or burgers. Even though it's the middle of winter, do people bring food? Are they hanging out and
Yeah, if they have tents, people will typically bring food.
Okay.
We do offer hot dogs, but they move fast, so
Okay.
you gotta work fast. We also have hot chocolate as
Beautiful.
well.
That's key. That's
hot
key.
chocolate and hot dogs?
Yes.
Maybe I'll just post up there with a bottle of Malort.
you watching-
With the bottle of Malort.
Watching everybody jump in, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. Very, very cool. Hey, Amy, if people want to find out more, maybe they do want to do a last minute thing and say, hey, this is
be
my
awesome.
year. It's going to be pretty nice out this weekend. Where do they head for more info?
You can go to specialchildrenscharities.org, and then we'll also be up at North Avenue Beach for the next couple days. So if you want to come and register at the beach, you can do that as well.
Very cool.
Beautiful. Good luck, you guys. It's gonna
Yeah, I
be
hope it's
fun.
awesome. So this is year 26?
Year 26.
Year
Let's
26
go.
for the Polar Plunge Chicago. Special Children's Charities. Absolutely love it. Good luck to you, Will.
Thank you.
Congratulations on getting to your fundraising goal. That's really amazing.
Get you
That's
a
a
heated
great
blanket.
Yeah.
heated blanket. Yeah, some hot chocolate.
That's heated.
Yeah, I appreciate both you guys. Thank you so much for
Great,
being here,
thank
Amy
you.
and Will. And we'll be back with more Chicago Now after this.
Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back. So I know I've complained a lot about how my phone is so addictive.
Oh, yeah.
So addictive, and we need all the help we can get. Well, how about something that can distract your mind by doing something physical with your hands? We are talking about the analog trend that's going on right now. It's really been taking off in 2026, and some local businesses are really benefiting from it. So we are joined this morning by Inclement Craft, the co-owners, Aaron Storm and Nathaniel Millard. Thanks for joining us this morning. Can we have a little check?
Oh, there we go. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so let's talk about this analog trend. When did you guys catch wind of it?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been in like the spinning game and doing analog stuff for a long time, but it's timed out really well for us in wanting to like open up a space and build a lot more community. That there are a lot of people who are trying to slow down a little bit, get a little bit more involved. I actually personally left tech before opening this, so I think I was ahead of the curve there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great to see how much. Oh.
I was going to say, you mentioned your space. Where are you joining us from? And tell us a little bit about that space.
Yeah, we're just off the corner of Irving and Kimball on Irving and Bernard. We're at 3436 West Irving Park.
Oh, cool.
And we've got this physical space. We retail made in the USA yarn. We make a lot of our own spinning fiber, and we teach classes in spinning your own yarn and dyeing with indigo here.
Dyeing with indigo, that is so fun. Okay, so Inclement Craft. So this is a craft store that you can purchase things, and you can also learn how to make crafts. What do you guys have going on? Are they like different events that you can sign up for? Do you guys have classes weekly that you do that are repetitive? What's the setup?
Yeah, so we've more or less got a rotating monthly calendar. So we teach hand spinning 101, so that's going to be drop spindle spinning, where you can come in, learn how to turn wool directly into yarn, and that's where we've got a lot of folks up spinning. And then we've got a decent number of meetups, so folks who want to come in and just like stitch together, or also we have an event that's called Spindle Support. So for folks who have experience spinning, who want to come in and find community, they've got that. And then for the folks that are just getting up and running, it's good to kind of work with other people and be there. And then for our indigo classes, we do a monthly stitch resist technique, so it's going to be a little bit more technical. And then we also do what we call bring your own shirt. So we get our vats up and running, and then anything that's a natural textile, folks can bring in, and we can help figure out getting like a shirt, scarves. We had someone who brought in a vintage tablecloth and get that dyed in our indigo vats here.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Okay, so from the pictures we're looking at, this is wool that is like right off the sheep. Is that right? I mean, are they like puffs of wool?
Yeah, so we take wool. This has been through a couple steps of processing. It comes right off the sheep. It's then washed, and then it's carded. So a lot of what we get is carded industrially, but we do a lot in-house with a machine like this one I'm working with here. It's called a drum carder, and it takes raw fleece and straightens it out so that we can then turn it into yarn. We also use it to blend wool that we dye here in-house with some really luxurious silk. And this is the process. We blend it all together to get different colors, and then this is sort of like what we sell to like our spinners.
Okay.
This is
like,
super cool.
Aaron and Nathaniel, I want to know, I want to hear from both of you, your history with crafting and why you feel like it's important, especially in today's day and age with all this technology. Aaron, can we start with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I came up in the game really early. I grew up young and bored in rural Indiana, and I had a middle school teacher who taught me how to knit, and I just sort of like, I had got this inkling. I was like, yarn comes from somewhere, and I must know where. So I built my own first drop spindle out of a pencil, a rubber band, and a CD when I was like 11 or 12, and I was spinning the cotton that comes in prescription bottles. And I from there, met up with a lot of spinners. The first place I ever drove was the Ellettsville the Ellettsville Community Spinning Guild in Indiana. And I've just like been in it ever since then. And I think I really want people to get invested because I find this to be a thing that's very human. It's like these are technologies that were built in community. They draw people together. And I think they're a really incredible force for connection.
I could totally see that. It looks very, very meditative. Yeah, let's go to your backstory, Nathaniel.
Yeah, so I'm from the rural Southwest, grew up like real homesteady, and so I had a lot more familiarity with kind of like the growing side of things. We've like grown our own indigo, stuff like that, and then learned to knit and crochet from my grandmother. Had kind of always been involved in as early of steps as possible. Like my mom grew up in clothes that her mom sewed, and then getting into spinning and getting more involved in this. It's been great to see breathing some new life into this and being kind of some younger folks getting into the industry. It's been wonderful to see that torch be able to be picked up, as there are guilds that have been aging out and some interest that was waning. It's been fun to be a part of that charge of kind of picking that up and being in tradition with, I mean, thousands and thousands of years of craft.
So we did a story about how people are bringing their own kits with them to, let's say, the airport. Instead of sitting on their phone, they're knitting. Do you guys sell kits? Can people gather like what kind of yarn they want from you, or different materials that they want and the products that they need to have their own little analog kit on hand?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't necessarily have pre-arranged kits, but we get folks all the time who come in. We had someone recently who came in and was like, I own a singular crochet hook. What yarn do I need? What can I do with this? And so we love being able to kind of like problem solve and work through projects and help people meter their expectations on like what they can get out of a given project or what they'll need to get where they want to go.
That leads to my next question. You do guys, it sounds like you guys do a good job of on-ramping people who want to get into this. How long does it take a total novice to get up and running to the point where they could go from a scratch piece of loose wool to doing something as basic as a scarf?
2 hours.
Two hours?
So our hand spinning 101 class, which we teach a couple of times a month, we, inside 2 hours, take you through all of the steps you need to use a drop spindle, like so, to turn wool exactly like this into a usable 2-ply yarn. So it'll be yarn that has all of the characteristics of a yarn you could buy at a yarn store. And so obviously there are some things that come with practice, like getting the exact diameter you want and getting a certain evenness. But inside 2 hours, we can teach you everything you need to know to get those reps in at home. And so, you know, we tell people you can leave with ready-to-use yarn if you want, and you can leave knowing all of those steps so that you can absolutely, if you're a knitter, if you're a weaver, like, be producing your own yarn.
Nathaniel and Aaron, both of you, what is your favorite class for someone who's never done anything like this before, for the beginners? Was it this one that you're talking about, to make your own pieces?
So I'm of two minds. I think like indigo dyeing is a great way for folks to just get in and see that like making something on your own is possible. It's a pretty low investment, and it's something that gets like immediate payoff, which is really great. If someone's looking more for like a continual hobby, like getting a vat up and running is like kind of a production, so like leave that to us, we can help you out. And I honestly think spinning is a great entry point. It feels really daunting because it's not as familiar as knitting and crocheting and things there. But you're not following patterns, it's a lot more intuitive, and I think it's a lot more meditative. So I would say it's a great pipeline to get you into all of the general fiber craft. But what do you think?
So that was low-key my exact answer.
Oh. Yeah.
Because I was like, our bring your own shirt parties, I think, are such a blast because we get people who aren't really in this world otherwise. And you get to see like their faces light up when they see the dye working, because it's a really magical process. It comes out bright green and then it oxidizes and turns this beautiful blue in the air. And then people are like, I want to make more things. I want to use my hands. And like hand spinning 101 is far and away like my favorite thing to teach. Seeing people, you know, become invested in every stage of working with that material, like working with an agricultural product to produce something that they want to use in their lives.
It's just so cool. I have to ask both of you, what is the most ambitious project that you have completed to date? Because obviously the beginners are going to be doing simple stuff, like, you know, like a scarf or a hat or something. What have you guys created over the years that was the most difficult thing you created?
I think, like, for me, time intensive, I like weaving large, like, rug type things and spinning for that. So, not necessarily technically challenging, but just a lot of time. So, like, finding, like, large quantities of wool that somebody passed off wherever, seeing what I can make out of it that way. I like kind of a bigger project there in terms of time.
So how big would a
Technical,
big
though.
big
He's also
big blanket?
underselling his own technical challenge.
A big blanket, those chunky knit ones, those are so cool.
Oh yeah.
I would love to make one
Cozy.
day.
Yeah.
Do you guys have social media accounts? Obviously, you probably have a website where people can sign up. Can you throw all that information
Hold on,
out
we
for
didn't get
people to chat?
Caitlin. We didn't get Aaron's answer.
Excuse me.
He's been knitting since he was 7th grade. What's the craziest, most ambitious thing you've ever done?
So, it's funny, Nathaniel tends to go like big and bold, and I tend to go like small and very intricate and fussy. I think on the list last year for Nathaniel, or the year before, I made a scarf where I dyed this cotton and linen blend yarn with indigo in a gradient, and then sourced and spun a blend of merino wool, wild muga silk from India, and buffalo down, and then wove it into this like fancy twill pattern that's in like the shape of like a single eye in repetition, and I did it in 36 hours.
I want to see this
So it
thing.
was like I have a limited time that you
That
have in the
sounds
house.
beautiful.
It
Took
was
you
crazy.
36 hours.
I slept very little.
I'm so sorry.
Where is it now? Where is it?
I
Is
think
it
that
on
remains my like crowning achievement.
That I have to see it.
It's on a coat hook.
It is
I
on a
wear it
coat
all the
hook.
time.
No, it gets used.
You better be wearing it, Nathaniel. You
That's
better be wearing it. That's a labor of love right there. All right, I'm so sorry, Caitlin.
No, it's okay. Yeah, could you guys give us your social media accounts and your website?
Yeah, so inclementcraft.com is going to be our website. If people want to order online, we also do in-store pickup. And then at Inclement Craft is going to be all of our social media. We're generally pretty loud and pretty findable. So once you find that lead, you can follow it to a lot of what we're putting out.
Okay, hold on. One more question. I have to ask, do you guys do like, I don't know, for like bachelorette parties or like a group outing or something? Do you guys do a lot of that, hosting? Like you could get like a group class going?
Oh, yeah, we have a contact form on our website, so if anyone's interested in getting something set up, we've also had folks who are like, I'm coming in from Europe, I'm only here these days, what works for you?
Wow.
Can we get something on the calendar
Yeah.
that way? And we're a pretty small operation, it's the two of us, so we have some flexibility to meet like where need and where interest is.
Okay,
Very cool.
can we bring bevies and hang out?
Yes, literally. Come on
Yeah,
down.
please
We would love to
do.
see you.
We're going.
That would be sick.
That's what I'm saying.
We're going. That's all. I'm going to make her a Fox
Let's do
32
it.
scarf. Okay, thank you very much. We got Aaron Storm and Nathaniel Millard of Inclement Craft right at the corner of Irving Park Road and Kimball on the northwest side. Thank you both so much. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Do you have that artistic side?
You know what? When I get into something, I can lean into it. Yeah. Yeah.
Got the
yeah.
music going.
Yeah, I can do it. During the pandemic, I decided I want to start sketching a little bit. You know how we all went through that initial phase, everyone went through their bread baking phase.
Yeah.
I sketched a couple like portraits.
No?
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony.
It was so fun.
Where
Because
are
we
they?
were all, I got one posted on my social media. I'll show
Listen,
you.
we're going to share the cheerleading picture. We're
Yes.
sharing a picture of whatever.
Yeah, my drawing. Yeah, I drew a portrait of my friend Cyrus. So,
Why Cyrus?
because I had taken a picture of you know how in the early days of the pandemic you would social distance hang out? So we were hanging out. This is funny. It sounds so sketchy now, but it was like the week that it hit, and we hung out like near my house outside. And for some, he came over. He was wearing this like Rambo headband for no reason. I just took a picture of him, and I'm like, all right, I'm bored. I'm stuck inside. We can't hang out with anyone. I'm going to draw it. So that was the story there.
How did he feel about that?
He liked it. He liked it. He changed his profile picture to the sketch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he wasn't creeped out.
So we're going to come up at the end of the show. We've got Caitlin's middle school gymnastics photo, and then you will see my artistic talent
Don't change the channel.
or lacked of. So you're going to have
Don't
to
wanna
stick
miss
around
it.
for that.
Yeah.
And especially because coming up, we're going to be joined by a very, very talented middle school cheerleading team that has gone from like not known in this world to like national contenders, and we've got some of the young talented folks on that team
Yay.
right here in studio. They're going to join us after this quick break.
Welcome back, 1048. We are talking about cheerleaders and how they are incredibly talented athletes. Joining us this morning is Learn 8 middle school cheerleading team and their coaches. This is a mom and daughter duo. We have Coach V and Coach K. They're both Williams.
Mother daughter duo.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk first about this cheerleading program and when you got involved as the coaches.
So I started working for Learn Charter in 2014. I started coaching at Learn in 2016. And I've been coaching them ever since.
So you're going on 10, 12 years now.
12 years with Learn. I coached before that though, so.
Okay. And how about for you? Are you an alumna of the program as well? Like, did you cheer when you were younger?
So I actually did not cheer. I just used to volunteer with her in practice, and then it just kind of became this thing where it's like, oh, set for life. Now I'm here officially.
Yes. So what was the program like when you picked it up?
There was no program at all.
So you started it from the ground up.
Yeah.
What was that process like?
Just having tryouts. I'd coached before, so I knew that some of the kids wouldn't have any skills at all. So I just looked for work ethic and smiles and energy. I just wanted to see what they could do, and we built from the ground up. So, and we just put in a lot of hours, a lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of practice. It was a lot of time. So,
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
We have like 5 members of the squad here in house, but how big is the team?
So we have a
traditionally
total of
each
17.
year?
Oh, there's your
17.
girls. Look at this.
And they are super talented. Now, you have taken these teammates on the road for competitions. Is that right?
That's correct.
Will you talk to us a little bit about how they've competed and what that is like?
So we do competitions all over. Some are more local, but nationals, we get to travel to Kalahari. It's just a whole new experience for them. Just something different to be able to travel out of the city and just see different. It's amazing.
Can we talk about the creative side of this? Because you have to come up with a whole routine. What is that process like?
So initially I did a lot of the choreography, but as the team grew, we would have a lot of the members to come back. And so right now we have an alumni that does the choreography for this team. She's a student at U of I, and so she came over break and she taught their choreography. We have a former coach that still does our music, and then we actually take their input because they're the ones on the floor. We want them to have a good time and enjoy themselves. So
it can be collaborative like that.
Yes.
What is a typical week of training when they're in season? How much time commitment are we talking about here?
In season is a very busy time, so most of the time we're kind of 6 days out the week we're doing practice.
Wow.
6 days.
To 2 hours every day after school, and then on Saturdays they usually have games or competitions, or if not, we'll have like a long practice, and then they're about 4 or 5 hours. So it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to think back to my days of cheerleading. Do you guys have, just so the folks at home, some people just aren't aware of what goes into the practices. Do you guys do gymnastics and the dance and the actual cheers all separate?
Yep, we do tumbling, we do conditioning, we do stunting, we do dancing, and then you have the regular motion techniques, energy, voices, like a segment for each.
See.
Middle school, I know it's different by school district. When I was a kid, it was 6th, 7th, 8th. Now they have like a separate 5th grade campus, and it's. But can you be on the team for multiple years? And do you have older girls that are mentoring the ones that are like in 6th?
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Initially, we started out with just middle school, just 7th and 8th.
Okay.
But now I do the entire building plus 1 additional campus, so it's 5th through 8th. So we actually get to use all of them. Like the couple of the girls we have over here, I've had them since 5th grade, and now they're in 7th. So I will have had them for 4 years come next year.
Is this something that you guys hope to kind of catapult them forward into high school cheerleading, kind of setting the stage?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
A lot of our girls who go on to cheer, even if they don't do cheer, they dance, they participate in other sports. Some of our girls have went on to play basketball. A couple of our girls, we had a fundraiser last night. A couple of our girls came over to support, just to watch, and they donated, and they were like, hey, we didn't get to do this. And I said, and then she said, we walked so they could run. So
I love that.
was
All
a
right.
full circle for me.
So you mentioned on Saturdays, a lot of times they do games and you know performances there. But what is your Super Bowl for the season? Like, what is there a specific event or competition where it's like you spend all this is our moment to shine, girls?
I would definitely say Nationals at Kalahari. That's the chance we get to go. We spend the whole weekend, leave on Friday, come back Sunday, we stay in the house together, we cook together, we eat together, bond together, just, you know, get them dressed. It's a whole process. It's a vibe.
I mean, that must be such a bonding. You're talking about kind of the bonding experience when you go through something with a group.
Yes.
To go through that, and I'm sure that the 8th graders, you know, hey, we've been here before. This is how it works. They know, and they can.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
mentor each other. They're really big on helping each other.
I'm unfamiliar with Kalahari. Like, is
It's
it
actually Wisconsin.
Okay.
That's the host. That's
Yeah.
the host, but it's Extreme Spirit Nationals. That's the one we go to.
That's so fun. Okay, so I want to talk to you because you've been a cheerleader, you said. You did all the other sports, but you've never cheered. Can you talk about how cheerleading compares to these other competitive sports?
I will say cheer takes some of everything, like the strength, the endurance. You have to have it all. Like it's very underrated, but it takes a lot of work.
Teamwork too. I mean, you really have to be in like good cohesion, and there's got to be a trust factor too. Guys, hold on. Before we get to this performance, I understand we have a shot of my co-host here. We went deep into the archive. There.
Okay.
Up there. With the flexibility, Caitlin, I am so impressed.
Oh, hey, you know what?
Was that scary? Or what's the trust factor going on right now?
No, it wasn't scary. I did break a girl's finger once, though. One of the bases, she caught me and I clamped my legs together, and I think her finger was between my knees. So you know, you get hurt, but I was never scared really stunting like this. Twisting is kind of scary, ladies. But no, it was super fun. I was a cheerleader in middle school, high school. All my girlfriends were cheerleaders. We had the best time. It is such a fun activity. Yes, you know, the gymnastics, the stunting, the dancing, the music, all of it is just a great experience.
Can you still contort your leg like
after
what would happen if you tried that?
I don't know. I'd probably be sore the next day.
You'd probably be sore the next day. We have a very talented group standing by on the other side of the studio here. Can we, do we get a little taste?
Just a little taste.
Okay. All right, let's go. Take it away.
Go.
Get down with the blue. We got that blue. We got that blue to show you, what do you do? Get down with the blue. We got that blue. We got that blue to show you, what do you do? Get down with the blue. Get down with the blue.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
Look at her go!
It was a good one.
Yay! Yes! Very well done. Does that bring back memories?
It's so many memories. You know, if I got my girls together that was on cheerleading team these days, we'd be throwing up stunts like that too. It's so fun, amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations on your success.
This is so
Be
cool.
proud of yourself.
Thank you.
And this program that you started and how much it's grown. And ladies, I hope you have just the best.
Yes, good luck at Kalahari this year.
Thank
When is the Kalahari venture this coming year? Has it already happened or?
No, we actually compete this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yes, semifinals. And then we compete March 13th through the 15th at Kalahari.
Go Learn 8. Okay, Learn 8 Middle School. It was such an honor to have you guys in studio. Thank you both so much. Keep us posted
All right,
on how you guys do. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Oh man, what a fun show.
Yes.
What a fun show. Not sure if before we go you were able to turn my
Oh, we're at the end of the show already. Yeah, do you
I
have
know.
the picture that Anthony drew?
Oh,
Okay,
we're
he's
working on it. It's okay. That, like, compared to the gymnastics thing,
No, we got
Caitlin,
the sketch.
Caitlin,
Sketch.
you are, I didn't realize you were like basically Cirque du Soleil level gymnast over here
Yeah, no,
to
I
my
don't
left.
know that. But thank you.
Unbelievable. Thank you guys all so
By
much.
the way, if girls want to like look into cheerleading, should they start young? Because my girls are little. When should I get them in a program?
Yes,
The sooner the better.
Amora, raise your hand. Amora started when she was 6.
What, 6? And Amora, how old are you now?
13.
13. Okay, so she's 7 years in.
So I better get on it.
Yeah.
Gymnastics first. Let's go.
No,
Yeah.
totally. Maggie wants to sign ours up. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. More Chicago Now right after this, everybody. Hope you're having a great morning.
All right, thank you.
On Fox.
Alrighty, the 11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. How exciting was that? Learn 8 middle school. They did a good job. It was funny. They were just saying, you know, my voice wasn't ready. I'm like, you guys were super loud.
They were really good.
You, oh
and
my
so
gosh.
adorable at the same time.
Super adorable. All smiles, watching themselves on the screen, getting excited. I'm excited for tomorrow. Do you see what the weather's supposed to be like?
60 is what I think I saw.
60 and although it's going to be windy, Caitlin said.
So we'll take 60.
I'll take 60. I'll tell you that much.
That is for sure.
And then after this weekend, the little cool down that we're going to see, we're going to go back up in like the 10-day forecast. So
I was looking at the little dog. Go back to the beam. The dog is like posing there with the owner. Look, I mean.
No way.
Yeah, right in front of the owner, right in front of their feet. You see that group of people right in the front? The dog is like right on, spot on, taking the picture. That's so cute. I know you can barely see it, but if you got up close there, you see the little pooch. Watch. Is it, see it right there?
Oh, I see it, T. I'm like,
so cute.
I'm like, she is tripping.
Oh, I'm not. I could be. I mean, I've had quite the morning, to say the very least. So.
Do you have any stories to tell?
Just traffic.
So keep it like that.
Just traffic. Don't look at my ankles. I need some lotion.
It is quite amazing, you know, all that we could do in the morning before this show.
Yeah, people have no idea.
Just know that, you know, we're coming here for you, peeps.
Yes, we love ya.
Okay, here's what's coming up. We're talking with Block Club Chicago, as we do every Thursday. We're talking with Matt Lederman today. Talking a little bit of Girl Scouts, how there was a Girl Scout saying, the troop saying like, hey, we need a certain amount of cookies, and they have far exceeded it now.
Even
thankfully.
Governor Pritzker, I guess, has stepped in.
Interesting.
To help them, yeah, so we're going to talk about that.
Have you had any Girl Scout cookies this season?
I have had some via Sylvia Perez.
Okay.
You know, I'm trying to stay. I told you about the cheese Danish that I was supposed to bring.
Okay, so
I didn't have time. I'll have it tomorrow. But I'm trying to stay clear, you know, of the sweets a little bit.
It's kind of a good thing because I was so hungry. You know what I resorted to?
What?
Some Reese's Pieces in the bottom of my bag just like about 15 minutes ago. So my blood sugar is going to be like this.
But they
rocket
are so
high,
good.
and by the end I might be crashing.
And it's so cool to see all the kids, like when you go to the stores and everything, they're lining up. They're real creative too. They're salespeopeople.
Oh yeah.
Like some of them are like gonna have an absolute amazing career in sales.
And I love seeing it in person because
So
yes,
cool.
okay, you could do all like the online selling, which is a good skill to acquire.
But going face to face, going knocking door to door, doing it in the grocery store, asking random people, that's the best way to do it. Anyway, enough about Girl Scout cookies. Also, we're talking to Everyone Reading Illinois. They're hosting an annual fundraiser tonight. So we have 2 folks coming. One is an award-winning actor who is also dyslexic, and it kind of just shows you, hey, look, there's no boundaries for them.
Right.
For
The
anyone,
sky is the
really.
limit.
The sky is a limit.
Yeah, but we got to talk about what's trending, and
first
let's
one
just say
makes me
fizzy
uncomfy.
glizzy. Yeah, it makes me very uncomfortable to even say glizzy on TV. But man, the times
Is this
we're
appropriate?
in. It is not appropriate,
Okay.
but we got to say what it is. That's
there
what
it
they're
is,
calling
yeah.
it. A Dr. Pepper inspired sausage, okay, get your minds out of the gutter, have become popular now. America's favorite sausage, Johnsonville and Keurig Dr. Pepper are linking up for the launch of a fizzy glizzy. Now, according to Johnsonville, the sausage was inspired.
We got to stop saying the name.
By Keurig Dr. Pepper's original 23 flavor blend. Here's my question. Would you want to taste a sausage? This comes out, actually, it's going to be available this Sunday, starting March 1st. Now, here's my question. Forget the name. Put the name aside.
I can't.
They're calling it the fizzy glizzy. Let's talk about the taste. Would you want to taste Dr. Pepper in a sausage?
You know, my initial reaction, no. But the more I think about it, Tia, there's actually a lot of recipes online that use Dr. Pepper, cola, beer, wine.
For barbecue sauces.
For barbecue sauces, yeah, for roasts and things
You
like
think
that.
you'd be down?
I might be down to clown.
What is it that, what's up with
Fizzy
you, Miss Down the
glizzy?
Clown? You said that
That's
yesterday, and I was
you know
like,
what? I'll make it a
where's she
record
getting
this
this from?
I don't know.
Where did that come from? Down the Clown. It just sounds so 1980s. That's why I'm curious.
I'm down to clown.
Down the Clown.
I'm down to clown with a fizzy glizzy.
Okay. I don't like the name. I think that's the reason, that's the problem I'm having with it. I can't get past the name. I mean, it's just so inappropriate. But
also you have, so you have these entire line of sausages, right? You go to the grocery store, you can pick whatever size, shape, color you want, okay? And you're gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna go for the fizzy glizzy. I'm gonna go for the Dr. Pepper. Like, who do you have to be?
I don't like the way you lined that up to say you got all these sausages.
I'll try it out,
but I'll try it. I'll try the
Look at the last sentence. Look at the last sentence here. This makes it even worse.
Go ahead, read it.
All right.
Out loud to the people.
Available and fully cooked.
I would hope so.
Oh, okay, yeah. You don't know.
And uncooked.
Enhances the riches of Johnsonville's signature sausage, delivering a nuanced, sweet and salty, or swalty finish.
Yeah, so salty and sweet.
Oh, that's even worse.
Salty and sweet.
You could just say salty and sweet. Why do you have to?
Let's move on, please.
There's too many connections here. I don't understand
to check to cash here at Fox 32, so let's move on. I do not want to be in trouble over Dr. Pepper.
Okay, forget that happened. This is,
inappropriate name.
When we tell you during the show, forget the last 10 minutes happened. Literally, forget the last 10 minutes happened. Another weird one.
This is wild.
Okay, Dunkin' selling 48-ounce coffee buckets. Yeah, they're not kidding.
48 ounces?
48 ounces. So a post has been circulating on social media in recent days following. Apparently there it is. That show 48-ounce beverage buckets apparently available to purchase at some Dunkin' locations. So don't think that you can go to a local Dunkin' here and grab it just yet. That's insane that they have it actually on the screen.
I was on board with it until I saw the single straw. Then that threw it off for me. See, I was under the impression
like a fishbowl.
I was under the impression this was like something you could share because I don't know if you've ever had to buy one of those big old cartons for everybody. It can be kind of a hassle to get it around, and make sure that it gets there safely. So I thought this was just another form of that. But now that I see the single straw, I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of coffee. I mean, I know people say they run on Dunkin', but this is running on Dunkin' on a whole nother level. This is wild.
If you saw someone roll up with one of those, like you're in the workplace, right?
And stay clear of me.
I don't trust you. Automatic, just stop. I'm going to put you on ice.
And I'll be honest, I actually had
too.
Dunkin' this morning, and I have my Dunkin' drink over there. But here's my thing with it. Is if you're having that much coffee, you're too high energy for me in the morning. So please stay clear of me.
100%. Also, check your heart because things might be going on. But okay, so it only comes in a couple flavors apparently. So strawberry dragon fruit lemonade refresher, so not necessarily
That's what I had
coffee.
today.
Ooh, I haven't had that before.
It's good.
A blueberry cobbler iced latte
That
for
sounds good,
$11.49, so it's actually pretty cheap. And a caramel cocoa iced coffee for $8.89.
Okay, I'm not gonna judge, and here's what I'll say to this: because coffee has gone up in price. Like, have you gone to buy a cup of coffee?
I can get literally, I have gotten the smallest size at a competing place for literally like $8.89.
Okay, so my thought is maybe you can split it up a couple of days.
That's
put it in the
true.
fridge.
That's true.
I won't judge you because it may not be that you're drinking it in one sitting. We're assuming because of those videos that
That's a
people are
hack.
drinking it in one sitting. But yeah, the hack would be you buy this thing and spread it throughout the week if that's what you
I
want.
was curious. I was like, what would be the nutrition facts even on this, you know? Because I've been watching
see it?
videos.
It says
No,
something.
no, but I did try to look it up and it said like the iced cobbler drink would be like 600 to 900 calories just in that sitting.
And I guess it depends on you too. Like if you say, hey, can you add some extra pumps of sugar or, you know, cobbler flavor, then it probably would
Sometimes
increase in
online they
value.
play with us though. Have you ever seen
I
the
shouldn't say
videos?
in value, in caloric count and
Yeah.
sugar count.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those videos on TikTok where it's a barista who's working at, you know, Dunkin' or Starbucks or wherever, and they're like, this is a real order. I don't know. I'm wondering
seen
if this
them.
is a real order. Where they put like literally like 15 pumps of syrup in it.
It's probably a real order.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yes, because my husband was following this hack. He bought it 2 times, and I was like, you buy it, because I'm not paying that. And it was like a $16 drink. It was somebody's order that they had posted on social media, and I was first of all, I was too embarrassed to drive up and say, hey, can you give me 7 pumps of, like, I was too embarrassed. I was like, you got to order that. But yeah, people do it, absolutely. This isn't tested
I
here,
like
though,
sweet
but maybe
coffee.
it'll come
Actually,
soon.
that's pretty much my vice, I would say. Like I
like
am a
sweet coffee.
sucker for like a really sweet latte, and people will be like, take a sip and like, that's too sweet for me. I'm like, all right, grow up.
So would
drink
you
your
try
black
this?
coffee? Yes.
Would you try this if it comes
especially
to our area?
since you said duh, split it up.
Split it up.
Split
That's
it up.
the way to go.
So right now, apparently, it's only available in Massachusetts or New Hampshire in some locations, which is like core Dunkin' Donut property, I feel like.
I feel like here would be, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, East Coast, I actually had never had Dunkin' until I met a friend from Boston.
Really?
And she's like, you have no idea. She's like, my high school, everyone had a Dunkin' in their hand. I'm like, oh, okay.
Learn something new every day. All right, what do you think about this? Mamma Mia 3 is reportedly in the works. The chairman of one of the competing places reportedly broke the news over the weekend and says they're going to find a way to bring Meryl Streep back for the movie. You know,
but she died in number 2.
Yeah, which is interesting because she did pass away. So I don't know how they're going to bring her back. Maybe as a ghost. That's the only thing I could think of is.
Oh, it's going to be some flashbacks.
Is like a ghost. Is how
is
they
she
bring
going
her
to
back.
want to come back?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what number 2 was even about.
Listen,
really.
I don't
Isn't that
remember,
sad?
so I'm not going to sit up here and lie. You know what I do want to see Meryl Streep in now? The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
I can't wait. They're rebooting that right now.
You know what? It's just going to kind of be me this weekend, and I plan on sitting on the couch, watching a few shows or movies.
What's something you feel like you got to watch?
I got to watch Devil Wears Prada again.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
You know they're
And
rebooting it for a part
What?
2. Yeah, it's in the works. A part 2 of The Devil Wears Prada. That's my favorite movie.
No one
So
told
that's
me
how I
that.
know that. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay. Now that I'm looking at some of the pictures, I think that Sophie in Mamma Mia 2, Sophie was like taking care of the hotel.
Yes,
And I think Meryl
that's right.
Streep,
That's right.
who's her mom, passes away. And then she gets
she's-
closer to the older ladies and the dad.
She'll come back as a ghost.
Okay.
That's my guess. If she decides to come back. There have been rumors about a third movie coming out for years, and now it could actually be happening. Other stars of the original film, like Amanda, say that because I don't know it. Pierce, what is it? Seyfried. Thank you, Seyfried.
yeah.
And Pierce Brosnan have also expressed interest in the project. Listen, I don't know all these people. I'm not Jake. I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm
that's
sorry.
so funny, Tia. Because I'll always be the first to say that I am so bad with names of actors and actresses. Like I've probably passed maybe a couple on the street before. Not that I'm that high end of places, and I
Not
could
that I'm
have
not in the high end of places.
I could have no idea that I'm even close to someone of importance.
I'm not gonna completely cancel out actors and actresses because they definitely have a really hard job to do, and I love them. But because I have so much, or I should say so little time, a lot of the shows that I watch aren't long movies like it used to be for me personally. I do watch movies, but not a whole lot of movies, you know, I get to see. And most of the ones I get to see have a kid in them because I have kids, you know? So some of these names I'm like, who? I don't know
How many
these
times
folks.
do you think you've watched, what's the Demon Hunters?
K-pop
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, Lord. Probably 15 times.
Wow.
I know
impressive.
the song. It's really not. It's sickening.
It's sickening?
It is. I wish I would come out with it
Someone
too.
told me, encouraged me actually not too long ago as an adult, someone else without a child said, you should watch K-pop Demon Hunters. And I'm like, I don't have any kids, like why? And they're like, no, it's actually just a
songs
good
are
movie.
really catchy.
Oh yeah, well I've heard them on the radio, and I actually told one of our photographers that that's from a kids movie, and they're like, no way, I hear it all the time. It's really good. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, our world is different now when it comes to some of this stuff. Like the people that even like kids idolize aren't necessarily like when we were growing up, it was the big movie stars that were in some of these movies. Kids are idolizing people on YouTube because of YouTube shows and social media, like especially like kids that are like my kids' age. That's where they want to watch, you know, the stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting how times have changed, but here we are. So.
I saw a post the other day where it's like a kindergarten printout, like, oh, here's a memory, and they asked them what they want to be when they're older, and like half of them said influencer.
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't think my kid will have a clue of what that is.
Well, okay, like I'm sorry, not in like YouTube star
social,
or like social media stars. It's funny though, right?
It's
like,
hilarious.
You would see a lot of like veterinarians. I feel like I have a write-up like that in my probably kindergarten yearbook, I think it is, and everyone wanted to be a firefighter or a veterinarian.
That's what you wanted to be?
I think I heard my friend probably say, and I'm like, shoot.
I asked my daughter the other day what she wanted to be, and I didn't,
What'd she
you know,
say?
dissuade her. But I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of jobs. She said she wants to be a chef, a firefighter, a police officer, and a doctor.
Wow.
And I said, well, honestly, you could just be the doctor because it kind of encompasses some of what a firefighter does. The police officer in some ways.
It's true.
Now the chef, I guess you could just do that at home.
Yeah, chef it up at home story. He's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
My goodness.
So, yeah, but The Devil Wears Prada, I can't wait to see that. That's one of my faves.
Me too. That's exactly what I'm doing this weekend.
What was it for you? What was it about that movie that you liked? Because for me, it had, okay, I'll be honest. The acting is good, okay, but it was more the outfits.
Oh, the outfits for sure. I feel like the first time I
honest.
watched it, I was probably really young, and so the outfits, but also I think I love those stories where you're like so intimidated by the person at first, but by the end, you know, you start to warm up to them, and you're like, okay, you understand the story of like their upbringing and stuff and why they are who they are.
And then, you know, Meryl Streep in it is supposed to be in real life, you know, people kind of mimicked her style to Anna Wintour. So, you know.
And I love this. I remember
interesting.
loving like the city scenes too. I thought that was so cool. Like, oh, they work in an office, like all busy, boss girl every day. Actually, I wanted to work in a magazine growing up. Yeah, until about 2 years into college. Yeah.
I would think it would be just like that movie back then,
right?
For sure.
I don't know.
Really tough.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we have a lot coming up, including talking with the folks over at Block Club Chicago. We're going to talk about the Bears and Soldier Field and really what it means for Soldier Field if the Bears are out of Chicago. We'll have that much more right after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Chicago Now, 11:17, almost 18 on your Friday Eve. I almost said Thursday. I'm thinking Friday. All right, we got to talk about this because a lot of people have been asking the question, if the Bears leave the city of Chicago, they're no longer at Soldier Field. What does that mean for Soldier Field? Will it sit empty? What kind of events will happen there? Let's bring in Mac Liederman from Block Club Chicago, who always has the answers. First of all, good morning. Thank you so much for your time. I know this is a story that you guys have been delving into. Give us the lowdown.
Well, thanks for having me, Tia and Gabby. Always good to be back. So Soldier Field, what does the future of Soldier Field look like without the Chicago Bears? It's a stadium that's 101 years old and a very important part of the revenue picture for the Chicago Park District, which owns it, is actually the largest source of non-tax revenue for the Park District. They say it pays for the equivalent of like all city lifeguards, camp counselors, maintenance staff. The list goes on and on of just how important of an asset this is. So the Park District very quietly has started floating plans to lawmakers for a renovation of Soldier Field that would turn it into a full-year concert and event venue. A lot of the changes they're asking for would have to do with the traffic egress and public transit. Everyone knows just how much of a headache it can be to get to and from Soldier Field. So that's priority number one. But after that, they want to upgrade the backstage areas and more things just to benefit concerts. They're floating, obviously successful stadium tours there over the last couple of years from Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So they want to keep it going. But I think really the big takeaway from here, Tia and Gabby, is that the writing is kind of on the wall that the Bears exit is very possible, to the point that the Park District is now floating plans and making arrangements for the fact that they might not have the Bears to keep the stadium afloat over the year. I
want to go back to something you said. You said year round, and my first thought is I'm not standing in a concert venue in the middle of a Chicago winter. Have they talked about covering or coming up with some type of a plan for a covering for Soldier Field?
Yeah, I saw nothing in the pitch deck that they've been sending around that involves a covering. Obviously, there's other types of special events that are not concerts, but I imagine things are probably going to slow down in the winter no matter what. But regardless, the Bears leaving, it would open up more days of events for the Park District, because rules now is that you can't have any event at Soldier Field within 5 days of a Bears game. So definitely an opportunity at the very least to open up the calendar there a little bit more.
Oh, see, and I didn't realize that no events there within 5 days of the Bears game. One thing that we think about, and you said it, they would rethink some traffic stuff, probably some, hopefully, like flow of getting in and out of the concert. Have you been to a concert at Soldier Field?
Yes, I have.
And it is like
even
shoulder to
driving
shoulder,
by.
like panic-inducing kind of like foot traffic when you're going in, and mostly when you're leaving. Yeah. Did they say anything about improving that?
Yeah, they didn't give the details on that, but one of the things they do want is both car and foot traffic. So obviously, I think we all know the bottlenecks to and inside the stadium. So opening that up in some way is a part of the financial picture here. I think that's kind of priority number one, and priority number two, a lot of the money will go towards that in particular, and I'm not complaining about it either.
Let's talk about this. Wrigley Field is going to host the first ever Chicago HBCU Baseball Classic. When is this happening? What teams are we talking about here?
So May 2nd at Wrigley Field. Tickets are free, so I'll be there. I hope you guys will be there too. But Prairie View, A&M, and the other school's name is eluding me. I'll have it for you in a second.
Alabama
but it'll be the first time to
Alabama A&M
yes, thank
too.
you very much.
Yep,
Prairie View.
They'll play a game here after the Cubs game in the morning, and this is the first time two HBCU schools will face off at Wrigley Field. And personally, I've had the pleasure of being at the CPS High School Championship game at Wrigley Field. I've stood on the mound before, and there's just no experience like it in the entire world. So first of all, I'm just very stoked for these players and their families that they're able to experience that. I think every baseball player who puts it all into it deserves something like that at some point. And these HBCUs, they carry so much cultural importance, and they compete in major sporting conferences, but they have less financial resources and trouble recruiting players. So I think something like this could be really to the benefit of getting more talented ball players into HBCU schools, seeing that they can have an opportunity like this. So definitely looking forward to the game.
Yeah, looking at this stat, I'm sure a lot of players, especially coming from a HBCU, will appreciate that. When Jackie Robinson broke Major League Baseball's color barrier in 1947, he played at Wrigley during his rookie season, and today it is the only existing Major League stadium where Robinson once played, which is huge.
Wow.
And I'm sure these players will appreciate that historic significance as well.
I have the chills. I love baseball, right? Baseball's fun, but also HBCU, they know how to do marching band.
Oh,
do they have any like halftime performance, or not halftime, but like performances planned in between innings?
The marching bands are coming for both schools from what I read so far.
Are.
So free tickets, even just for that, if you're not a baseball fan, like how can you say no?
Do you know what you have to do, like when those tickets are going to be available? Are they available now?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Maybe I should check the website and figure that out.
And I know you have to get it through the Cubs website. Yeah, I remember hearing that when there was a first like announcement, and I heard the rumblings. All right, let's switch gears because Englewood Girl Scout troop, they had a number of boxes that they had to sell of Girl Scout cookies, but they far exceeded it. Can you tell us about this story?
Yeah, so the Englewood Girl Scouts troop is it's pretty new. They've only been around since 2021, and they serve a veteran-supported community homes inside Englewood. A lot of the Girl Scout troops themselves are family members of people who live in this housing, veterans of our country, and they were looking to sell 2,000 cookies this year to kind of keep the troop afloat and pay for basic expenses. And then Block Club wrote about it last week. My colleague Atavia Reed did a great job with that story, and they've already raised over $20,000 more than they had anticipated, and the number is growing. So that's a whole lot of cookies there, and they're going to use that for STEM programs, for more group activities in the neighborhood. And their dream goal at this point now is to rent a bus so they can take all the girls to somewhere cool and have a little outdoor experience. So really just a positive story. I think this is what Block Club's all about, is just highlighting our neighbors and people supporting each other, and that's what's happening here.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And can you talk about how they were able to get all these people invested, including the governor?
Yeah, so the governor caught wind of the Block Club story. I like to think that he's probably a reader too. So yeah, just a full support all around. They said that their next goal is they want to get a donation from all 50 states. I think they're at 39 now. So let me read these off to you guys. So if you know anybody in North Dakota, South Dakota, anyone listening, New Mexico, New Hampshire, West Virginia, Mississippi, Alaska, Delaware, Hawaii, Kentucky, or Louisiana, please donate and help them reach their next goal. They're so close, and I imagine here at Fox you guys have viewers all over the country. So here's the hoping.
That's
yeah,
true.
South Dakota's done. I have some.
They
family in
reached
South Dakota.
All of those people in all of those states?
Yeah, 39 states, 11 more to go.
Okay, so
Wow.
they need some from those states. Okay, so we're calling the troops. All right, help these Girl Scout troops and help them out. That's actually incredible.
That is incredible.
Mac, I have to ask you, do you have a favorite Girl Scout cookie flavor?
I thought you might ask, and I'm very excited to answer this question because it's very obvious for me. It's Samoas, especially if you put a Samoa in the refrigerator for a little bit, and you get that little extra crunch on it. You know, they make like store versions of Samoas under different names, but I honestly think nothing beats the original. Just the quality, the taste. It makes me buy Girl Scouts cookies every year. That's for sure.
That's how people feel about Thin Mints too. You put them in the fridge.
That is
let
a
them
game
get a little
changer.
cold.
Game changer.
Dip them in a little milk.
In milk. Oh
yeah, I've
my
heard great
goodness.
things. I've never
Tino
dipped them in
knows
milk.
what's up.
Don't tell me. Don't. I was kind of actually mad. Yesterday we had a sign up that said, Samoas.
Samoas, okay.
They call them caramel delights here, don't they? I had a Girl Scout come on not too long ago on GDC, and she said they're caramel. I thought she said they're caramel delights. But anyway,
right.
But I had a sign up in my building that said, "Hey, Girl Scouts, I'm going to be available on Wednesday." I didn't see any Girl Scouts. No. I'm like, what?
What a letdown.
Come on. Anything else you guys are working on right now, Mac, that the audience can look forward to?
Well, I saw a story this morning about the another neon sign being gone in Chicago at Erie Lake Automotive Shop. So I'm a little interested to see what the backstory is there. But beyond that, just standard normal business here at Block Club. I think the news has settled down in a positive way for many people, and we can kind of get back to telling the stories about our neighbors and the Girl Scouts groups. So just excited to do more than that, and I'm excited to see that from my colleagues as well.
I would totally agree.
I agree, and I want to just say, the haircut, we like it.
Oh my God! Oh, thank you so much. I was
yeah,
hoping
I
you
love
noticed.
it.
It's still like a little like unruly. I don't know if you've seen me
We
like
noticed.
You have naturally
trying to get
curly
it all
hair
out
then,
of my
huh?
eyes and stuff. So that's a problem for me that I should figure out
no,
next.
it's
But
beautiful.
yeah.
I love it. You have great thick hair.
You do.
But you know, I want you guys to have people on the ground going around to patios tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good patio day.
Yeah, the block.
Although it's going to be windy, but you can
really?
find some patios that are kind of like.
It's gonna be 60 degrees.
It's gonna
That's summertime
go.
shy around here.
Come on. Come on. You gotta watch the morning shows. We'll keep you updated, man. We'll keep you updated. All right. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you both.
See you
Great to be
next
back.
time.
No, but for real, I'm starting to think about, because I'm actually stealing this kind of from Anthony, because he mentioned it a couple days ago.
What'd he
He's like, Friday's going to be patio weather, or like find a spot to settle down and you do some happy hour drinking.
Make
Like,
sure the
that's-
seat is
That's true.
tethered.
And make sure the seat is at this point. I'm like, because Caitlin showed us a graphic of the winds, and I'm like, man, of course, there's always a catch with the warmer days during this time. But you can find some that are kind of nooked away, and then someone else is like, well, no one has their patio stuff out. I'm like, believe me, when we had that warm weather a couple weeks ago, they
People had
their,
it out.
People had their patio stuff out.
I'm cool for the clown. What did you say? What's your saying?
I'm down to clown.
Oh, okay, that's what I meant to say.
You're cool for the clown. That could work too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
for the
you.
clown.
I'm down to clown.
Okay, down to clown. Okay.
I'm not down for the clown. What clown are we talking about? I'm not down for it.
I'm sorry, down to clown. My bad. I'm trying to keep up with that one. That's an interesting one. Okay, stay with us, because after the break, we're going to be talking to the founder and executive director of Youth for a Better Future. It's a non-profit organization helping to educate and inspire kids. We'll have that right after this break. We'll be right back. Down.
Noon.
All right, welcome back to Chicago Now. Everyone Reading Illinois is hosting its annual fundraiser tonight at the University Club of Chicago to raise money for dyslexia awareness. So we're learning more about it with Shira Raviv Schwartz, president of Everyone Reading Illinois, and Amir Baraka, award-winning, daytime Emmy-nominated actor, author, and dyslexia advocate. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
And I know, Shira, we've had you on before talking about this. It's so important, and I don't know if everyone at home, truly knows how many people struggle with dyslexia. Do you mind kind of giving maybe a little lowdown of what we're seeing here, at least in Illinois?
Right. So actually, 1 in 5 people has dyslexia. So that could be out of 20 kids in your class. That's a good number of students who have dyslexia. Dyslexia is, we like to say what it is and what it is not. It is not, it does not have anything to do with intelligence, and it does not have anything to do with your vision. What it has to do with your inability to understand and read, put sounds with letters, and so that affects your reading, your spelling, and ultimately your comprehension. So that's in short what dyslexia is. And 2/3 of students in Illinois are reading below proficient levels. That doesn't mean they're all dyslexic, but there are probably a good number of those students. And if you think 2/3, that's a lot of students.
Amir, I must ask you, because one of my thoughts is, you know, part of your job, reading scripts, right? Digesting them, understanding them. Talk about how you discovered that you had dyslexia and really how you've overcome that to be where you are today.
Well, I grew up in the Kelly Housing Projects, and we had 3 siblings, Rashawn and Deshawn. They read fluently, they enjoyed school. Poverty had nothing to do with them going to school, and I struggled. And I was in and out of jail as a juvenile, ended up facing 60 years as an adult, and there I was in prison. And there was a teacher there who had a love and a passion for helping young boys, and he brought in a screener and had me screen for dyslexia. I was 23 years old. I was reading on a 3rd grade level, and there I was for all those years not understanding.
Oh, look at that picture.
What was happening.
That'll stop you in your tracks. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I discovered while in prison that I was dyslexic, and you know, my mother and I, we had this problem because my mother called me awful names because I gave her a lot of problems, and my siblings said horrible things about me as well because there was this competition in the household who's academically smarter, you know, and I fell way behind. So I wrestled with a lot. My self-esteem was shot for a very, very long time until I taught myself to read while in prison. Not the correct way. Phonetically, I was completely illiterate, but I taught myself to read by writing words down like that, though, tomorrow, all those words for 4 years, and I eventually got my GED.
Wow, congratulations on that. Because I can only imagine, you know, you're sitting there as a little boy, you're thinking about your future, you're getting all these, you know, signals from your mother, you know, from your family. And now look at you, an actor. Did you ever think it was possible? Did you ever have that belief? Because I feel like a lot of people, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people with dyslexia, my husband has dyslexia.
Okay.
They are such good dreamers, you know?
Yes, they are, yeah.
Aren't they? They visualize things differently. I think they just have a different kind of personality. Did you have that as a child?
You know, as a child, I had an erroneous vision, and my vision was being a drug dealer. I actually used to ask God to help me to be a drug dealer because that was my limitations, but I wanted to take that money and build swings in the projects and help children. I mean, I had the right thinking, right, but the wrong way of going by doing it. And you know, once in prison, and I felt good about myself that I could read. I'm like, the sky's the limit. So it impacts your emotional and your spiritual well-being. You know, it gives you distorted thinking. I mean, it can really stifle your growth.
What do you say to people that may be watching, maybe their child has struggled, similar to what you're talking about, and maybe they're in a rut, you know, maybe they feel like, I don't know how to get out of this, I don't know where to turn, maybe they feel like they don't have the right resources. What do you say to them? Really, that's a question for both of you.
Right, so what at Everyone Reading Illinois, our focus is to support teachers and, you know, educators to do professional development. That's why we have this fundraiser, to raise money to be able to provide teachers with professional development who can then find these children and support them. The next level is supporting parents and families who are touched with children who have dyslexia. So coming up in March, we have a parent conference, but really the signs to look for are, is your child struggling to read? Do they say they don't like reading? Is their reading choppy? Do you find that they're guessing when they're reading? Look at the first letter and guess something. Those are all red flags. Also spelling. If they can't spell their name, they can't spell other letter. If they can't spell words and they just look completely different than they should. And what I always tell parents, the biggest thing is don't wait. You got to get in there early. We know that early literacy screening is effective. had you been screened earlier, your life may have been very different.
Definitely.
And then early intervention is the best model. And there is a model called structured literacy that kind of teaches students the basic skills all the way through the higher order skills. And that's the best model. So that's the way to go.
Do you think, I mean, luckily with, with everyone reading Illinois, things will get better. It already is getting better, but still, is there a lack of of schools that are really taking dyslexia seriously? Because again, I'm talking about my own experience. My husband as a kid saying he struggled so much, and there weren't really that great of resources. Like, he'd love to see a dyslexia dedicated school or section of the school, or or classroom.
There are schools in the country that are like that, but they're very expensive. And everything is about money. It's capitalism here in this great country. However, our prison systems are replete with men and women with low literacy skills. Our prisons are replete. When I was in prison, I met so many men. Hey man, how to spell Thursday? Hey man, how to spell this? Getting other men to write letters for them. And all these men, we all had the same stories. Other family members went on to do well, but they didn't. So, but it's so lucrative to have people in prison. So it's a big business. It's a huge business.
Well, I would say though, for schools here in Illinois, people and everyone reading Illinois in our organization helped the Illinois State Board of Education form a state literacy plan. So there is a brand new state literacy plan. Many teachers and school districts are just learning about this plan. It's a couple years old, and it's really a blueprint for what literacy should look like now. There is not a mandate to follow that, so there still are schools that are just coming to this kind of learning. And there really are misconceptions about what dyslexia. People often say to me, oh, well, they don't mix up their B's and D's, so they're not dyslexic. Wow. That's not what dyslexia is. Dyslexia, they may mix up their B's and D's because they cannot put sound symbol correspondence together, like what does that sound say? And read it that way. That's the reason, but it's not mixing them up. So that's why at Everyone Reading Illinois, we try to spread awareness. We do parent conferences. We do tons of teacher education that's free for teachers. So, if you look on our website, we're coming up, we have one on dysgraphia. Dysgraphia is trouble with spelling and writing related to dyslexia. So, and that's what you're saying. How do you spell Thursday? That's exactly it.
I wanted to ask you, Amir, because with that does come having dyslexia and coming out about it. What made you make that decision? Because I would think in your field, being an actor, that there are some people that still don't understand it and would think, oh, well, I don't know if this guy will be able to handle our script. What made you come out and be so forthcoming with that?
Well, I had to, because I realized the impact that it had on my life, and so I was willing to risk it all. It's very fortunate. I've been very fortunate to producers that I've worked with, one in particular, Tyler Perry, who understands my situation, who gives me the script early, who's very open to disabilities. So I've been very, very fortunate. So I want that to happen for the next generation. It's very important that that happens.
Have you ran into maybe more actors, actresses who are talking about it now and have the same issue, and we're scared to say something?
Many actors. I've ran into football players, Saints football players, basketball players, and they're ashamed because the scourge that come with that when you tell a person you can't read. Now you are a multi-millionaire, but you can't read or write. I mean, it's a shame, but it's not your fault. And so many men, particularly African American men that I meet, they're ashamed to come out. But Octavia Spencer, she's an Academy Award winner, and I was trying to get Octavia to come on the road with me and talk about this issue to young girls, because I see so many young girls, and I can't talk to young girls. I don't talk to young girls. They come to the conference, but I don't talk to them because that's a girl thing to do. But I'm trying to get her to get on the road, to come with me, to talk to these young women, because they too are suffering in the shadows.
And if you can think about a student at school who's not an adult, who is very shameful about the fact that they're looking around sitting in a classroom and they're like, I can't do that, and I can't do that, or I think I can't do that. I have other protective factors that make me able to, I can play sports, but when I'm sitting in this room, I'm having a hard time. And you do have some sort of social emotional trauma, educational trauma. So we also do work related to that to help parents understand how to build resiliency in students. So those are the kind of parent conferences that we do. We go to libraries, we go to schools, and we educate people on what is dyslexia, how do you advocate for your child, what supports do you need, you know, what's the 101, what do you need to know?
Talk about the fundraiser tonight, and if someone can't come, but maybe they do want to donate to your mission, how can they make that happen?
So they can certainly go on our website. We do have a few spots left tonight to come hear Amir's amazing inspirational story. And the fundraiser really is providing us the opportunity to give educators free professional development. Oftentimes it's at night, and so they have time during their day if they can put in the time. And they get Illinois State Board of Education CPD credits. So it's a win-win. You go and you learn, you listen, and hopefully you can implement these basic nuggets, and then you want to go out and learn more. So
what's the website for people that are listening?
www.everyonereadingillinois.org.
I love it. You really only need one person. You know, I've heard other people, like one person to really advocate for you, to help you out, to tell you that you are good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, can we really stress on that? Like, this is that opportunity to find that person for maybe your child or someone you know, or even as an adult.
I would like to dovetail into that. There was a gentleman that I was incarcerated with. His name was Norman Spooner. And Norman knew that I was struggling, but Norman really saw something in me. And I used to walk the yard with him every day because he was the first and only man that ever told me that I was special. He said, you're gifted, you're talented. He said to me, you're gonna do great things. I see it in, I don't know if this guy was conning me, but he saw something. And it was just that guy that sparked that flame that kept me going. I really believed in myself because Norman Spooner, an inmate, told me that. So that's the power that we have. And another thing I want to say is parents. Parents is so important because my mother called me stupid and dumb. My mother said horrible things about me. You cannot do that to your children. You take the life out of your children. I know they may cause you problems. I know they may stress you out, but you can't say that. You can't say that.
And I would imagine that, you know, we talk, especially being that we are a news organization, about a lot of youth doing bad things, but sometimes it's probably not that they want to do it. Maybe they're having issues struggling in school, and so that is the way that they're acting out. Was that something that you struggled with?
Absolutely. Listen, my brothers, I grew up in the projects. My brothers and sisters ran the school because they enjoyed learning. I didn't. All my friends who I did crime with, sold drugs and robbed people with, these people were illiterate people. We're all illiterate. When I got to the penitentiary, I said, oh my God, these men are ignorant. They're illiterate. And so that's the problem. But when you learn to read fluently, you enjoy school. You want to go to college. That's where the girls are, right? The girls are in school, right? And so you got to compete. So my brother was a handsome guy, played football. He had all the girls, but he was smart. He was very smart, growing up in the project. So poverty had nothing to do with me going to jail. It was my poor morals and my poor values and my distorted thinking.
His story is incredible. You know, it's you figured it out, and you do have those protective factors of whatever it is, that the charisma, the ability to use your language to get your feelings and thoughts across. But you know, this is a language-based learning disability, so oftentimes the organization of children's thinking, also they're not able to express what they want. And if you don't read enough, you don't have that structure of looking at language the way that another kid might. And so I did some work with the Juvenile Justice Council, and I worked with somebody who worked with kids on the street, and he said, yeah, this kid just is getting kicked out of school because he's hitting people, he's beating people, he's like 9 or 10 years old. And I said, did you ever think that maybe because he has a learning disability, he can't read, that he's shamed, and he's not able to tell somebody who's making fun of him about this, because he doesn't have the language, and he doesn't have an adult who is there for him that he can go to, a trusted person who gets this, who understands. So it is all about relationships. It's all about the kind of learning you get. And teachers really need to have that education to support these kids.
Absolutely.
I'm happy you're doing the work, and I'm happy you're talking about it, because sometimes people don't really understand how big of an issue it is until you see somebody famous, You know, somebody that we see every day talking about it. So I'm happy that you're not ashamed. That's
Trickles, it turns into something else. And I encourage you at home to look up a list of very, very, very successful people who have dyslexia. You will be amazed at what you find. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
One more time, if you don't mind, Shira.
The website.
And then where people can go if they
So
want to come.
www.everyonereadinglinois.org. And our next big event is for parents, March 7th, Lake Forest. Gorton Center. It's 9 to 1, and we're going to talk about 3 things. One is, you know, what does it look like to be a struggling reader and how to help them? The second thing is building resiliency and grit in students that do struggle. And the third is the most amazing young adults. We have 4 young adults on a panel who are all dyslexic. They're like 17, 18 years old, and they tell their stories. And they're not famous, and they are not Amir Baraka, but they might be one day.
They are.
So, and they're like parents leave there in tears because these children are so inspirational, and what they do, how hard they work, is so evident, and it is really something. So if you want to join us in Lake Forest, March 7th.
All right, perfect. Thank you both so much.
Thank you guys for having
A wealth of knowledge. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thanks
Stay
for
with
having
us.
us.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Chicago Now. We are talking about Youth for a Better Future. Adema Luka is the founder and executive director of Youth for a Better Future. That is a nonprofit organization helping to educate and inspire kids by showing them how to take charge. I know, Adem, you have someone there with you. Can you introduce who you have there with you?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Adem, and this is Bonzel Scott. How you all doing?
We're doing well. Now, talk about this. You have so many different programs to support youth. Why do you think that's more beneficial than only focusing just on a couple?
Well, I think we have so many kids in our city, and they all have different needs, right? So the best way to reach them is to not only keep a good, diverse set of program, and also have diverse people to come around to support them as best as possible.
You know, what are you guys doing for people who are not familiar? You know, tell us kind of the ins and outs of just some of these programs and how you're helping.
Yeah, absolutely. So typically after school, we have tutoring program, homework help, and we push STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, to math. We also have some workforce development program. Kids are learning robotics, AI, and typing. And in sports, we're big on field trips as well. Actually, this Saturday, we're taking a field trip to snowboarding, and we have Von Zell's coming to volunteer, as well as an Olympic medalist, Asia Evans, and we're supported by Columbia Sportswear. So bringing all partners together to push our young people in the city forward.
I want to talk about the volunteer part because I'm guessing that's what helps you keep a lot of these programs running. Talk about your volunteers. You're a volunteer, so talk about your experience and why you decided to volunteer with this particular nonprofit.
Well, you know what? I believe in what Adam is doing with Youth for a Better Future, and I want it to be a positive role model for these kids. You know, when they're up on that mountain and they're looking down, you know, it's building being courageous and courage and having resilience. So, you know, when if I can be a positive impact on that, then I'm going to absolutely be a part. So this is something great for the kids. It's something I can be a part of, for sure.
And it's cool to see, you know, young people like you guys. You guys seem pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty young.
Sometimes there's people who are around some of these youth, and you're like, all right, you know, I could see how maybe things aren't working out. They can't connect. But you guys, I mean, you're sharp, right?
That's true.
You're sharp. I bet they love you. Can you talk about some of the relationships that you've been able to build? Do they really, you know, engage? And it's important to encourage more young professionals, young people like yourself, to volunteer.
Yeah, so having my friend like Von Zell, who's an actor and recently was starring in the movie Moses the Black, it's always good to have people that are actually doing things to come in to be a positive influence. So bringing in all people that from the city who've had to go through challenges that look like him, they talk the talk that they talk, and that can pretty much be a face to encourage them to do better is always positive.
I want them to look at.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted them to see somebody who's walking in the same streets as them, who's trying to do something positive and, you know, wants to get better in their future. And I wanted to be a part of this so bad because, like, I've been there and I've been in these streets, you know, and trying to find somebody to mentor me and you know, just be a positive role model for them. So this was absolutely like the best part of being a part of this weekend, and just showing the kids that you can do it. You know, you don't have to settle. You can be whatever you want to be, you know, so.
I'm looking at the pictures and I see a lot of young men in the pictures. Tell us about, you know, what some of their challenges are. And, you know, like Gabby said, you are both two young men in the community doing something good. You know, how you're able to step up for them in a way, like Gabby said, that maybe some of these organizations just can't do it.
Yeah, relatability is big, right? So first of all, you got to show up consistently, and, you know, meet them at their level, have conversations, participate in things that they like, expose them to new things such as snowboarding that we're doing for the first time this weekend, and yeah, just being present.
I just wanted to ask you this because there's been other nonprofits that we've talked to. I think sometimes when you're older, people assume like, well, people have actually left the neighborhood. You know, people have actually gone downtown. But in some cases, some of the youth haven't been really outside of their zip code. Tell us about the youth that you serve.
Yeah, you know, where we're located, there's some youth who haven't even been to the lake, to the beach, and experienced all the beauties of our city, let alone get access to winter sports, right? So we've been lucky again to partner up with folks like Columbia Sportswear, and they've been helping us push our efforts to expose kids to all possibilities outdoor that they can take advantage of. Not just that, there are pictures of going to Google and having all types of enrichment initiatives. So we're all about partnering up with whoever is willing to help us move our efforts forward.
Are there, for example, if a parent's watching right now and they're like, I would like my son or daughter to possibly be a part of this program, do you have room for other kids? And if so, how can parents sign their kids up?
Absolutely, we're expanding. Go to youthforabetterfuture.org. Reach out to us. There's an email on there. Give us a call. Even volunteer if they'd like to. Yeah.
And on the other side, it's good that you guys are getting the recognition you deserve with Columbia. You guys are going to have a great weekend.
That's
I already
so
know
much
that.
fun.
We want a recap of what's going to happen this weekend. But people who are watching and want to help out or they want to volunteer, same thing, go to the website?
Yeah, go to the website. Yeah, reach out to us.
Thank you.
Support us, volunteer, donate.
Yeah, no, I'm thanking you both for doing this because we know, you know, being on this side of the camera, how important it is to have people like you in the community helping the youth.
And we could talk about all these, you know, different organizations and stuff, but to actually see some faces who are, you know, are behind it, who these kids will see every day or, you know, once a week, it really does make a difference. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you all much.
All right, have a great time.
Going down, and it's good that Columbia's helping
Down
out.
the clown.
It's
gonna be a good time.
Down to clown.
It's gonna be a
You
good
got
time.
that right.
I finally got it.
Down to clown.
Down to clown.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good time.
Friday Eve, baby. We
Friday.
made it here.
Wait a minute.
What?
It is Friday Eve.
Yeah, I don't know. You were tripping at the top of the show.
Today.
I don't know what you were saying. I was like, I almost said Friday. I almost said Thursday. I'm like,
they're killing the music early. They're ready for us to get up out of here.
Forget this. Forget this. All right, guys. We will see you on the actual Friday. All right. We'll get our days of the week right.
We'll see you then.
See you then.
Be safe.